What's up, y'all? It's the Mad Hatter logging back in, reporting live from the basement of the fourth dimension. I want to talk about Derrick Rose and these recent allegations of rape. So this article by Deadspin is headlined "Lawyer: Derrick Rose said he doesn't know what consent means." And of course, the headline is true because Derrick Rose, according to court documents, has said this. So let me talk a little bit about this before I get too crazy into detail. But let me just lay some of the groundwork. So again, Rose doesn't know what consent means. But what we have to talk about is neither does the alleged victim. So they're getting on Rose. The prosecution is getting on Rose for not understanding what consent means, and he actually fucks up and he says they question him um, at a press conference. They say, "Do you understand what consent means, or do you have an understanding as to the word consent?" He says no, but can you tell me? They ask another question. They say, "I just wanted to know if you had an understanding." Derrick Rose says no. Now, I don't think that, this obviously doesn't mean that he's a rapist. He could definitely understand what consent means. But in this instance, I think that what he's doing, because Derrick Rose is not necessarily the most intelligent person, as we know. Like, he barely made it to Memphis because of his grades. It's not always an indication. But I think that he just is trying not to say anything about this, and he's trying to be slick, but he's fucking himself over. Now, he might be saying this, but I don't, like, again, it doesn't mean that he's out there just raping bitches. But it's also not good that he doesn't know that he's coming out and saying that he doesn't know what consent means. It obviously makes him look guilty as fuck. But he could have totally hit this girl and not raped her. But maybe he doesn't even know what the word consent actually means. Maybe it's not that he doesn't know what consent means, but maybe he doesn't know what the word means. Again, I'm trying to look at it from both sides, but it doesn't look good for Derrick Rose overall to be saying this. Why the fuck would he say that? So, from that perspective, he should basically just if he wants to save his ass, he should shut the fuck up about answering questions unless his lawyers tell him what to say. Um, like for instance, she could have grabbed his dick and been like, "Yo, I'm ready to go," and I'm gonna read you a text from her, and you can kind of tell what kind of person she is, kind of, which shouldn't matter. Again, it shouldn't matter what kind of person you are if you were raped, but it shows her proclivities. But she could have definitely like grabbed his dick. He could have been okay. That means go. That means a yes. Let's go. Maybe he doesn't know the liberal the liberal form of consent as you know both people have to look each other in the eye and say yes, we need to have sex right now, and then fuck. Maybe he doesn't know that term, but maybe he knows that if a girl grabs his dick, he's ready to go and she's ready to go. Um, Another aspect of this story is that she is anonymous, which I get. Like we all get why somebody in this case is anonymous because she could be a victim. Maybe she's not a victim, but because she could be a victim, we want to protect the victim's identity. However, the fact that she's calling out other people and her team of lawyers are calling out other people, she's accusing other men and using their full names. If we are innocent until proven guilty, I think that we're also running the risk of ruining these men's careers and their livelihoods as well. Her life could be ruined, but we got to look at it from the other side as well, where these men, their lives could be ruined as well. Um, so let's see. So a little bit of more of the backstory is Jane Doe met Derrick Rose during the LA lockout, I believe in 2003 or 2013, excuse me. She says that they got together. She blacked out, but her original complaint was that she was drugged. Change of story. Um, and then let's see. So the lawyers asked Rose. They were texting. Rose and this Jane Doe were texting, and the lawyers basically they asked Rose, what were you and two friends doing over there? Because he brought two of his homies over. He had sent her a text um, saying that he was bringing two homies over, and she stopped responding. And he says, "We be men, you can assume." which is again, it's not a good look. But he admits that yeah, they fucked. But what he's saying that his lawyers are saying that it was consensual. But yes, he wanted a threesome with Jane Doe, and him and his two boys, or whatever it was. But him and his two boys, that's a train. Him and his two boys came over and they fucked. Um, so they asked Rose, were her eyes open and did she slur her words? Really? Like now slurring your words can constitute as rape? Like I know plenty of women who get fucked up so they can fuck and they slur their words. How many drunk people slur their words when they fuck? So now the litmus test for rape is if a woman is slurring her words. What if a dude is slurring his words, and a woman wants to fuck? I don't know, man. This is getting kind of crazy. So, but he responds and says no. She wasn't slurring her words and her eyes were open. And so her legal team concludes that one of the main reasons that she didn't consent to this. Again, we don't know if she did or did not. They haven't laid the groundwork for what consent means. We're going to get into that. But her lawyer team is saying that the main reason why she did not consent to this and why she was raped is because she's not that type of girl, essentially. So that gets me to think, did word get out that the homies got the fuck and she got embarrassed, so maybe she did something to make herself feel better or to get revenge? I don't know. But it's not looking good for Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, I mean, we're going to get into this trial October 4th, and it looks like, he brought some boys over and they fucked. Now, the question is, was it consensual? We don't know at the time if it was consensual, I'm giving my take on the situation, but before I log off of this, let me read you her text message to him when she asked him for a threesome a while back. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let's see. So when Rose asked for a threesome, she says, "What did you mean by that text?" He answers, "She was mad that I asked her." Oh, excuse me. This was from the courts. I'm not even going to get into what the court said. I'm going to get straight into the text message. This is what the text message says that Jane Doe sent to Derrick Rose. She says, "If my flaw is wanting and waiting and keeping my pussy for you, then my bad. I can share you with however many bitches, but shit I had never messed or fucked with more than one at a time, so my bad for that too. You did give me some good dick, so thanks. I guess I have to be less selfish with my pussy next time." So, and that's the thing too, is I think that's the difficulty in relationships between men and women nowadays, is that, especially an athlete, I'm pretty sure she knew he was an athlete. She knew I'm not saying she knew if she was raped. I'm not saying that she knew what she was getting into, but she knew that she was dealing with an athlete. Maybe he saw her as a groupie, but she saw him as husband material. So there's that disconnect right there. So, because what it definitely sounds like is that she's not ready to do all the things that he wants her to do. It doesn't mean that he forced her to do it. She could have still been like, yeah, I don't want to do it, but you know what? I'm going to make this sacrifice. And just because you do something and feel bad about it doesn't mean it's rape, if that is what happened. So, yeah. Video's getting long. I'm going to leave that there. Again, let me know what y'all think about this text message. I think this text message is really interesting. I think it definitely does show that she's not comfortable doing everything that he wants, but it still doesn't mean that she didn't make the conscious decision to go ahead and do so. Let me know what y'all think. I'm done with this. This shit is fucking crazy. And peace.